way of a prize lies. $99 packs over disguise. Star Trek's essence lost in the void. The frailty, joy destroyed. No mercy for greed. Blood white flows. Cling on honor, let it show. Arms in vain, electric beast. Star Trek soul, now deceased. Galactic vultures scorching gold. Drenched in nation, story soul. Ranky smile, power thirst. Legacy shattered, unforgivable curse. Galactic vultures gushing gold. Drenched in nation, story soul. Ranky smiles, power thirst. Legacy shattered, unforgivable curse. Swords of warriors, blood-red skies, shattered dreams, cash cow cries, ball-blade madly, chaos and thrill. Star Trek's blood now spilled. Crimson war cries, glory lost. Money taints, honors tossed. Blood white dripped, blood in rage. Comet sweeps in his grave. Scorching gold, break their nation, story soul. Rangy smiles, power thirst. Star Trek soul, now deceased.
All right, that should be turned down enough for your delicate sensibilities. Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I can't believe we're halfway through another week. It's good to see all of you. Today we'll be going over, of course, Alliance tournaments as it has returned. It has also returned in a slightly different way than an average tournament. So if you'll go in there, you'll see different things available to you depending on your league. So that's going to be something that you're going to want to pay attention to. And yeah, we're going to go through all the things. We're going through 10K task, of course, and I'm getting my low-level account booted up as well because I'll be working on both of them while we discuss this. But Alliance tournament big, obviously 10K task big. I've got one staring at me in the face right now. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and start it. The acquire 15,000 temporal disruptors, which is obviously more and more popular as a free-to-play option, particularly for people about level 60 and above. It does depend on what level you're at, but that's a good one. You also have the Galactic Recruit one, which is technically a free-to-play if you're hoarding and saving all of those, oopsie tokens that get passed out. So there's options here. And we're going to try to go over those and discuss them and help y'all. For those of you who don't know the options or maybe don't have everything set up or maybe just hadn't given this a lot of thought. Maybe you were at a level where you're like, hey, this doesn't feel like there's much for me right now. But then you got to a level where there is something for you. Okay, that also works. Either way, we're going to try to cover a lot of that stuff today. But like I find it, even my baby account. I'm sure Tiberius will be here to goad me into doing more on my baby account. We'll be doing that today though. But it's good stuff. So it's important for Star Trek Fleet Commanders to check it out. And if you haven't, could be your first time. I mean, I find that happening all the time. Like we'll do a special event or, something like Alliance tournaments, or maybe we'll get into, an event comes around in the interim period, like the Borg stuff. And I'll have people like, I've never done this, Rev. How do I do it? So you would be surprised out there how many people need help. I mean, I think the average participation rate in alliances across the game is something like 30 or 40%. Right? That's the average. Or, it's average, but not even the right word. In terms of, let's go full mean median mode. In terms of like active alliances, so we'll just take the core group of STFC. It's probably around, half-ish. I know in Horde, our best that we've ever done was, I think, 77% participation. Well, what I'm saying is those numbers tell us that not everybody is doing alliance tournaments for whatever reason. So it's an opportunity to, when this comes around, edify those players and say, hey, there's a lot of value in this over here that you might want to take a look at. I mean, obviously we got the new one right here. We got outpost directive sourcing right over there. That one is going to be for mostly higher level players. You're going to need to be doing all your 10K tasks, because in terms of priority, I have this as a middle priority, but it is still there. I'm still big on things like the premium mirror dust, which is, you can assume I'm going to go ahead and get all my 5 in now, with the hopes that some problem happens and they have to do a reset or flip it, or it gets turned back on, just in case I can pull it again. And then I'll start working on all of my 10K free-to-play tasks. So now, as much as there's in there now, we need a sort feature. And Stingray, I agree with that. In fact, let me call out all the people in the chat. Appreciate y'all being here. Noon Whistle, Stingray, Data Flash, Mr. YouTube, F4J, the Major, Sambo. I'm surprised she hasn't got promoted yet. She's been a Major for, gosh, how long now? We got Jim Cardanos, the Hooded One. Austus, Bally Bomb is here. Talos, Soul Hunter, Sherlock. Who else we got? Dustin's here. It Depends. Mark Taylor, Jeffrey Tomas. Welcome in, everybody. Braindig is here. Miss Nemesis. How are you doing, Miss Nemesis? Always a pleasure. Nemesis, of course, is the owner of our Rotaran. Yep. That's why we call it Nemesis. It's owned by Miss Nemesis. All right. She's like a major from Catch 22. Oh gosh, this is rough because I don't know what that means. That's a reference. Write it down. That's a reference that I didn't understand. Write it down, everybody. We again have found another reference that Rev does not know. Write it down. Aloha, Dr. Iron Chef. Good to see you. Welcome in. How can we acquire the many temporal disruptors? And see, great question, because it's not that difficult depending on your ops level. It's 100% free to play at, in G6 for sure. At least it should be. But let me show you how to obtain. The easiest way, as in the way that you can farm for every day, is actually in your factions, the DTI faction. So to get your temporal disruptors, you're going to obviously need artifact shards. That's not really a shocker. So you have down here the Crenum Time Weapon and Janeway's Pocket Watch. Now, to be clear, these are worth going after no matter what, because, for example, this can be really big for your base defense. This can be really big for base defense. So Janeway's Pocket Watch, Chrome Time Weapon, you can come and pull these every day, and you can get 20 shards a day doing the full pull. This is via your relativity pull, your DTI faction. So we pull these. Now, these are a special type of artifact. Temporal disruptors are made by temporal artifacts. So what we would do is, when we have enough of those artifacts, we go into our artifact gallery and we go to those temporal ones. I'm going to use the two mainstays of this run, and we're going to go to Janeway's Pocket Watch. And to complete this task, I know that I need 125 just because I've memorized the number. So I'm going to do 125, and then I'm going to convert just that 125. And that's going to give me the 15,000 pattern disruptors I need, which will then, of course, complete the 10K task, giving me all the goodies and the rewards therein. So for me, that's going to be 4,400 Alliance Tournament credits, so 4,400 of the store currency, 12,000 more rerolls, and then 10K tournament points, which is what my Alliance cares about. Collect. So again, this is something that you can do, again, as you level up, you get these things maxed out, then you can start farming them. That's how it pays out. Right? Oh, refresh lag. Oh, yay. Oh, yeah, I forgot we have the new Excelsior event out as well. There were a couple events that have been added in. Excelsior is a paid event. So for the most part, you kind of ignore it, right? Unless you're a spender. I mean, there are spenders out there. Maybe that's worth it to you. Let's just be honest with each other. If y'all didn't know, but most of you should know, the 10K task at their prime point were meant to be spend options, right? They're meant to be spend options. Now, that doesn't mean there aren't 10K tasks that aren't spend options. Just that those were meant to be spend options. So while some have become free to playable, and Samo is old enough to remember when they tried to take some of them away from us because they were upset that they were free to playable. They are free to playable. And that has become, depending on the task, or I'm sorry, depending on the ops level, the Temporal Disruptors is probably the most popular free-to-play task amongst the higher levels, but there are other free-to-play tasks, like the Protomatter task, still, free-to-play. There's several 10K tasks that can be ground out. And then, of course, now, choice tokens. That system has changed a little bit. It's become more accessible to everybody, though. That's the positive. I know there are plenty of people out there who are going to hear about the choice token free-to-play task, and many of you will grumble because of the problems that have come up because of the new system where before you were able to get more than you are now. But I will say the choice token benefited the masses in that now everybody has access to that 10K task, even if you're a lower level player. So from that perspective, that's a good thing, specifically for you low levels out there. I'm talking to players in the G4, G5 range in particular, having the opportunity to use those choice tokens if they're saving them up to get the 10K task done, which is again going to just open up more opportunities for you in the actual Alliance Tournament store for what you can acquire, what you can afford to acquire. I mean, like you saw with me so far, there are two things that no matter what, I immediately go grab: Emblems of Honor and Premium Mirror Dust. Like those are, I have to grab those at the very beginning in the hopes that like some mistake happens and there's a big reset and I'm able to double pull them in that particular week. But I mean, they just, even then, they're just so good in terms of what they give me. I want to go after them. We could debate how good the War Room stuff actually is, but as someone who has suffered with their War Room not being upgraded for a very long time, let me go ahead and tell you, me personally, I'm very happy to be able to upgrade the War Room, even if the gains are very small these days. This is still 1% more ISO. I'm not going to pretend like I don't care. 75% more whole health, and again, more is more. I'm going to take my more and go ahead and hit them buttons. More is more. It might not be a lot more, but dang it, it's more. Braden's had just finished their War Room this Alliance tournaments. Huzzah, congratulations. Congratulations. Now, Brandon does ask, do you already have the Epic FTs? So the new ones that just came out? No, I do not. Now, again, this is very specific to this account, everybody. So don't take what I'm about to say as me saying they're not worth going after. Well, let's pull up the Druoda Sentient Missile, for example. Increases Explorer isolate damage against armadas. Hey, stop bugging out. Increases your piercing stats against armadas and increases Explorer crit damage. I just don't need this. If I have extra left over after I've gotten everything I need in Alliance tournaments, I will pick this up for collection purposes. This does not benefit me at all. Moving over to the Berserker, same thing, but for interceptors, does not benefit me at all. I just, there's not a situation in the world where I need that. So that gets thrown on the back burner of once I've gotten everything I want in Alliance tournaments, and more importantly, once I see how much I have to spend, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't always get all 15 tasks free to play. Sometimes there's just a day where I don't get them all done. And then I'm making sure I'm getting the most from my currency. For example, I can pull Officer Depot tokens 10 times, but that's going to cost me 16,500 currency. Almost everything of what I have now. But at the same time, I can get 100,000 Officer Depot tokens. Am I going to do that? Absolutely. Command badges. Yeah, I mean, some might gripe at the cost, but how many people in the chat, and y'all remember, y'all are the diehards, y'all are the donuts. How many people need freaking command badges as you're pushing your mess hall? I'm not saying don't get the 3 FTs that are in there because they are super cheap, and credit should be given to Scopely for not bringing out something new to the game and then immediately thinking this thing is worth 500 American dollars, because they do that sometimes, right? They're very cheap to turn in, to go after, but for me, they're at the end of my list. And I believe I got them, I started pulling them last time, but I always wait to the very end of tournaments just in case something comes up or something else becomes available or a reset happens, you know, those breaks happening. I'll try to take advantage of them. All right, so there are the PTs. Where are the other FTs? So I've got 40 out of 200 on the Hull Piercer, 40 out of 200 on the Sentient, and did I not get the other one? Berserker Complex. So I just wait to the end, just in case. And Outpost Directives already purchased. Outpost Directives are in there. And again, you're going to have to prioritize, like just for your account, what has the most value. And go from there, right? This is also a special Alliance tournament, meaning there are extra rewards in there this go around. So that's going to be something that you want to maybe say, hey, if I know these are in here right now, maybe I grab them while they're here. So again, like Tarka's Isolate Weapon, I don't have yet, but I might grab just for collection's sake, if nothing else. But there are still very important items in here I'll be telling people to grab first. For example, I'm always harping on my G4 players in particular, pick up that NX02 Columbia skin. You're going to want it. What level does the Dauntless stop working? It It doesn't stop working. I don't know what that means. It doesn't stop working. It can be broken in surges if that's what you're asking. But that's more of a surges and STFC thing more than it is a dauntless thing. So, good morning, RP. How close are you to pushing to 66? For me, it's just a cost thing. I'd have to jump into Spox Club and look at it. But it was a couple of good weeks. It was about a month of me going through and saving all the ore and crystal to make sure I could afford the shipyard and the buildings. I'll need to log into Spox Club and see how close I've gotten, to be honest with you. Why is Time Lord yelling? It's the internet, man. I don't know. I'll stop questioning why people do things a long time ago. Multiphasics, that's spend only. Planetary charts, spend only. Let me go ahead and rotate these so I can find me some free-to-play ones. See, that's not free-to-play. Let's get rid of that. Let's roll until we find a free-to-play. How about that? And enjoy the lag. The lag is very special. It's close to my heart. I've been really, really looking forward to the lag. Every time this game boots up, man, I go, I hope it's a laggy day. And there we go. We got two of them. Protomatter is a free-to-play one, though a little bit more intensive. Let's just be honest. This is a little bit more, you got to really push through it. But it is technically free-to-play. And then another temporal disruptor. So, not going to lie, I'm going to take the easy option and go grab that. And we're going to do temporal disruptors. Because sometimes the easy option is the right option. Now, Major Samo says that they already picked up all the outpost directives, all the premium mirror dust, all the war room, and as many officers depot as I could. I discovered some extra currency from last month. Well, heck yeah, that's great. You know, I'll be honest, for me, the outpost one, I love the availability there, but it's not high priority. Mostly just because I don't have much FOMO for outposts. Like, I'll run outpost, but the rewards for outposts are solid. They're not amazing. They are solid. And hey, I'm not gonna dismiss completely anything that gives me premium mirror dust, but it just depends on where you're at. Where you're at, Major Samo, you know, absolutely makes sense. You know, for those who don't know, Major Samo is a higher level player. She's above where I'm at 63. You know, she's playing around with those big boys and big girls up in the G7s areas. She went crazy. It's fine. Go crazy. And for that, outpost obviously more important in terms of loot. It's just going to depend. You know, if you're a level 50, right, or let's just say level 51 in this case, you know, is that the option for you? I'd say for most accounts, maybe not. But that's actually one of the good things. I know, dare we say something positive? One of the good things about tournaments is there are a lot of good rewards for a lot of different ops levels. Now, just because I said a good thing, let's say a bad thing. There's also no organization and things don't disappear once you have them all in Alliance Tournament Store, and that's very annoying. Okay, so with that out the way, we can focus on the good, but that is a major negative that needs to honestly be brought up so that Scopely hears it, because, like, come on, Scopely, like, seriously right now. I should not have to manually track whether I have the primes or not. But BrainDig did make a spreadsheet for that. And if you're out there and you're trying to be organized, don't be the fool accidentally pulling too much of a currency you don't need anymore. I'm putting it out there, y'all. I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying, don't fall for the pothole that's in the middle of the road. Avoid the pothole. And if that means that you got to, whether it's pen and paper, I know there are some of you out there who are very traditionalist. You're just going to use pen and paper. Doesn't matter how you do it. Actually track what you're grabbing. Because there's just not, even to this day, there's still not Alliance Tournament stuff in terms of currency being paid out enough to where you can afford to just blow it and go, oh, no big deal. Yeah, I wasted 10,000 currency. Who cares? Everything's fine. No, anybody doing that is probably going to have a very big facepalm moment and very upset with themselves. So don't do that. Samo's a total whale. Don't let her tell you differently. I'm just saying. Samo is a little bit of a whale. Joanne says, did I see that you didn't have the agony boost CT? I'd have thought you would have it. Again, Joanne, it just goes back to need. Because of the playstyle I play, none of those things have any value for me. And what I mean have value for me, What I'm saying is, are they changing my gameplay? Are they improving my gameplay? And the truth is no. There's no event nor task that currently comes out, even new content, that this account can immediately jump into without needing special FTs, CTs, etc. Now, that is not me saying the Agony booth is bad. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that because my account has certain strengths, I'm able to focus on other things like Officer Depot tokens and Premium Mirror Dust and not have to worry about going after individual items. Like, I don't have the Godsend, the Agony booth being an FT, not a CT, but like, I don't have the Godsend, even though a lot of people chase that. I do not have, as you can see, a lot of the epics here, the Agony booth, right? Apex Berry is non-Armada hostiles, FKR reputation, hull health, and damage, with it maxing out at a 2888 hull bonus, a 2400 hostile damage bonus, and a little bit of Apex Bear. It's like, that doesn't help me. So, but it's all style play, right? If you are a player, for example, more like It's Lube or James Bond, where ops progression is very important to you, right? Well, you probably will need those extra items. You know, you'll want that extra Apex Barrier, that extra whole health, right? That's just, you know, it depends on where you're at as a player. So for me, those don't have a lot of value. So they're things that I pick up like at the very end. So I'll check those when I've spent most of my currency for the week. Then I'll go and look and see, okay, well, can I afford to pick up some other things? And if the answer to that question is yes, okay, cool. I'll start picking up this. And maybe that will be some of the FTs, because the FTs do have good prices. Now, maybe that'll be Strange New World Dejac. Strange New World Dejac is not an amazing officer, but if you have extra currency, that's not a bad choice, right? Get him while you can. Upgrade him while you can. Not for this ability, for the, you know, below deck weapons damage buff. You know, so again, just all about where you're at in your account. My G3 account, my level 39 account, is an expert league and is very different in terms of how it chooses things down there. Although I did choose a lot of Strange New World Nurse Chapel, I will not lie. I did do a lot of Strange New World Nurse Chapel choosing down there, as well as, I believe, Borg Q, if I'm remembering correctly. We'll look at that account here today. Don't you worry, your pretty little face. I will definitely go take a look at it. Vindicator parts is also something I consider at this level, just so I can get the Vindicator done, right? Just to speed that freaking loop up and finish it. Going to Eviscerator blueprints, though, any type of ship blueprint I like if you don't have the ship. I do like most of the ship skins. Some of them have value, some of them do not. With the Columbia skin, the NX02 Columbia skin being my personal favorite in this store, though I guess the Borg skins should also get a little bit of love. Anyway, Prime Valor is another thing that I'm pulling to finish out the Valor. Borg Q is Master League lock, which makes no sense. He's in transport patterns. Ah, yeah, he is Master League, so I've not pulled him on the lower account. I do have a couple, I think I've got tier 3 of him on the lower account, but you're right. It did not come via Alliance tournament. Yeah. Anyway, is there a good difference for me to determine when I'm ready to go from 61 to 62? For me personally, Jeffrey, the ascension from 61 is answering the question, am I ready to go to 63 and build my uncommon? If that answer is yes, then move. There's really no benefit of being at 62. So for me, it's if I'm moving, and this comes back to like how you plan for the future. If you know you're going to move, especially a couple of ops levels at a time, what that does is that puts in your back pocket the knowledge of, oh, I'm going to be spending X amount of uncommons. So if you jump up a couple levels at a time, that actually gives you the ability to do more and maybe perform better in things like SLBs, SMSs, maybe COTA, depends on when you choose to do it. I wouldn't just go up one level to 62. My goal would be to prepare to go up to 63. Just like at 63, this account is preparing not to go to 64, but to go all the way to 66. But having all of that loot stored up means when I do make that move, I can cash out on whatever the leaderboard or COTA is at that time, if that's what I'm wanting to go after. It just allows it to be, or allows you to make something that's a little bit more advantageous to account growth versus just purely moving up vertically, if that makes sense. So now Rob says they're going to go from 60 to 64. Don't really know why their logic is to go to 64, because 64 to me is a dead level. There's no real reason to be 64. But again, there's no wrong answer. The right method that we're talking though is if you go max your relativity out. I mean, I guess you can do that at 66 though. So, but anyway, at least you have a reason. All of these things said, the big idea is if we go up multiple levels at a time and do it that way so that you get the rare. The rares are at 66, Davey, which is why 66 is the next place this account's going. The 66s are where you find the rares. But yeah, the multiple level method, and some might call it camping, whatever. I call it just getting strong for your level and then moving up to the next kind of like milestone area. That's what I refer to it as, because a lot of people get really picky about the term camping. It's a very sensitive topic amongst the CCs. However you word it, there are just ways that you can take advantage of the game, and I think that's a good way, right? Rare resources, not rare ships. Well, if you're talking about the refinery doesn't pay out rares till 65, not 64. So even then, that's like, nah. Howdy, how you doing? Foot Doc, is that what it is? Doug, by the way, good to see you. Evil Corsair, good to see you. Viper, good to see you. Rob, good to see you. Davey, Don9526. I just like saying hey to everybody in my chat. I appreciate you. Dinwit, you're here. Thanks, I guess. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Let me go get my third temporal disruptor done for the day. As you can see, this is it has just made Alliance tournaments a 5-minute in a day, assuming I can get the roll to appear up. It is a literally 5-10 minute in a day. I'm done with Alliance tournaments. So, what's up, Asif? Good to see you. Welcome in. Appreciate the streaming info. Absolutely, happy to give it. Talking strong on level. I'm 5th in most power at 60 now. Still need that 50% ISO from Dust to step in to Beastland. Hey man, that's a big one. As you can see, that's why I'm pulling what I'm pulling now, right? But there's also more things that are worth bringing up in terms of the mirror universe primes. Well, premiums. They're not technically primes, although they're just about as strong as primes. So just don't let me forget I need to go claim that Alliance tournament task. But come into here, I just did my pulls. So obviously the goal is to get here. There are a lot of things I got to get upgraded up into that point. Like this one. I'll be able to get one of those upgrades. And it's just smart speed up our Venom Spike. Get that done. But if y'all remember, if y'all been watching Revdeuce's videos, come back over here. Remember there's, oh, wrong one. It's actually right there. Premium damage versus hostile. Oh, wow, I'm wrong again. It's actually this one. Premium hostile combat hull repair. If you remember, you want to max this out if you're trying to reach that elusive 95% hull regeneration cap in the game. This will be an important piece that you need to pick up. So that's another one that you can go after. Again, me just trying to reach premium mirror as much as I can. I'm going through all the list of all these things that need to be upgraded. So this has to hit 8. We're going to have to work our way all through these to get there, but that's okay. Now that we have more ways to get the premium mirror dust, it doesn't feel as terrible. Well, at least what I should say, we have ways to get it that aren't incumbent upon you doing PvP arenas, right? That was the main way to get dust for a while, and still gives a lot of dust for those out there. But well, let's just be honest. That's not everybody does arenas. I have to just be open about that. As much as I personally might like arenas, I can't pretend like I'm in the majority there. So I can't pretend like I am. All right, let me go put this out real quick. Good afternoon, Tim Davis. Welcome in. Tree says, I forgot about the tournaments. Gotta get yours done now. Well, okay, get them done. I don't actually remember where we're doing territory this year. I need to share the map with my Alliance for Horde. And let me send this out real quick. And then when I do this, I'm gonna go copy and paste on Discord real quick. So give me just a second, y'all. I gotta share with my Alliance territory plans. And if y'all haven't already, get y'all's plans in. Get your plans in. Because today is Wednesday. Our first one that we have to cap is actually today in 3.5 hours. So I should really ping people about this. So give me just a second, y'all, while I try to be a decent Alliance leader. Oh, gosh. So the reason it took so long is, number one, they didn't, for those that don't know, they moved around a couple of like the 1-star, not services, the 1-star payouts. They did not really make many major changes, but because of that, a lot of us were waiting on that. Here is our plan for Alliance territory capture. Also, don't forget Alliance tournaments are live now. Sorry, just pinging my Alliance. Probably should have done this earlier, but I'm doing it now. Also, you can click the link to see times in your time zone. All right, let me share this out. Share URL. Bam. Boom. All right, got it. Hoping that my alliance goes for Thalen and Roshar so that we can finally free Odium and war can come to the cosmos. Okie dokie. Well, I hope you get your aggressive, war-hungry needs met. Hope your alliance meets your I'm going to destroy the world needs. That's what makes you happy, my friend. Who am I to say no? Chatterfang, good to see you. Are there any efficiencies to help reduce the cost for mirror dust research? No, you just got to get a lot of it. I mean, efficiencies come. This is a truth. But those are very high value and very costly, but definitely worth going after. Is the 20% cost efficiency of BP bundles for G6 ships from factory stores worth getting in the Terran store? In my opinion, yes. I would not say it's needed. Like, it's not a must-have, but I would definitely recommend you pick it up. The reason I say it's not a must-have is just the game pays out regular old-school faction credits. It's just such a high mark. Most people aren't going to struggle to obtain those or said credits. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't go after it at all. You know, I mean, I would still chase it. It might not be like a life-changing experience, but I would still go after it. All right, Final Weapon Wednesday. Don't forget about that. We're talking about Premium Mirror Dust. Final Weapon Wednesday. That means that the Zen Deep event is live. Y'all need to go do the Zen Deep event. Need to go do Zen Deep. There's one Prime Tech and an artifact that improves Mirror Dust. So yeah, I was kind of ignoring the Prime knowing that Miss Joanne doesn't spend. But there is an artifact. It's such small amounts. So... Oh, I had the time zones wrong. Man, I had my own time zone wrong. Oh man, that's embarrassing. I had my own time zones wrong. Oh well. Oh well. Eastern for the win. That doesn't help me either. I would have missed it either way. I had it set to UTC. So for those who've never used it, I guess it's an opportunity to show off territory.lol. For those who have never used it, this is something I definitely recommend for my Alliance leadership folks out there. This is territory.lol. It's a website that lets you plan how you want to do things. So for example, let's just say our allies, AAA, let's just say they wanted to go after this 3-star. Well, we can set it up and we can try to coordinate. We can see the times. We can share out with everybody. Okay, what territories do we get access to with this style? You know, what are we going to have access? What are we going to chase? What are we mining? It's a great tool. We'll also tell you the times. And what happened is I'm central, but I had it set to UTC. So I messed that one up. Oh, well. But anyway, it's a great tool. It's a great tool. If you're out there looking for ways to make your alliance more active and make things easier for everybody to keep up with and all that other fun stuff, territory.lol is a fantastic tool. Shout out to Gherkin who made it. It's absolutely a great tool. Do you think swarms will get fixed soonish, or is it going to be a while? What do you mean fixed? Wait, am I missing a swarm problem? Let me check the notes real quick. Let me check the notes. What swarm issue? Let's see. What swarm issue? Oh, surge. Yeah, well, it's two different things, Kevin. Gosh, you had me worried. Like, oh my gosh, am I missing an issue for our lower level players? Yeah, okay, never mind. Swarms are fine, ladies and gentlemen. Swarms are fine. They were asking about surges. Oh. Surges got a hot fix today. So surges should work. A ping went out a couple hours ago that they released the hot fix to help fix surges. Now, for those who don't know what surges are for the most part a G7 mechanic. G7s have to launch them and lower level players can participate. Hot fix was released today. And here, I'll read out the post for y'all. And actually, I'll do you one better. I'll put it up on the screen because, again, they're really bad about not communicating in all of their places. They might communicate only in Discord or even only in game. I'd rather they do it only in game. But anyway, we have just deployed a hotfix to help address an issue with Surge hostiles. Please restart your launcher to apply the latest patch. If you haven't done it, it is an actual manual patch that needs to be applied. If you continue to encounter any issues with Surges, please let us know via tickets so we can investigate further. We're currently working on the comp chest and we'll follow up once it's ready. Thank you for your patience. So, they've also already said there will also be a comp chest for today's lag issues as well. So before anybody gets finicky about that, we've seen some of the lag here on my screen today. That's not Rev ignoring it. They've just simply already said, hey, we got it, and there will be a comp chest. So there's nothing for me to gripe about. Sure, that doesn't mean I like playing through lag. That's not the point. But the whole point of us griping about the lag is for them to fix it and hopefully comp us. And they've already said they're going to do that. So no need to gripe. Unless you just like want to whisper under your breath, like, damn them and their laggy freaking game. And if that's what you want to do, that's completely fine. But since we've already gotten what the end result of my griping would be, I'm not griping about it. But yeah, that came out, by the way, for those curious, 20 minutes ago, just because it is always good to keep the visual records. It's this one right back here that you can't see because, you know, my big old face is in the way. But it was from Obsidian Hamster. The team is investigating the lag and a comp chest will be sent out. So, yeah. Rev's already gotten what he was going to gripe about. So I'll instead focus on being happy. Happy, happy, happy. There. I just deal with the lag while it's here. So greetings, James Vaga. Good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. The Raven. Welcome in. It did have a hot fix today. Correct. Mika Dave, also good to see you, my friend. I think I've seen you over on the Twitch side. I hope everything's going well. Welcome in. I try to definitely keep an eye out on our regulars. So anyway, let me get back here and do these polls. Let me go ahead and grab all these. Hey, Lube, how you doing, buddy? And yes, I am wearing the It's Lube hat. We were just talking crap about you literally just 10 minutes ago. So your ears must have been burning. So your ears must have been burning. All right, Vasa Good to see you. Welcome in. Y'all keep hitting them with the questions, especially Travis Young. I just feel like they've got a lot of them. They got a lot of them. But anyway, been a hell of a week, but thanks. Hope you're doing well. You know what? I could complain, but what good would it do, as we like to say here in America? In a lot of ways, I'm very blessed, and I'm very grateful for that. John, good to see you. Welcome in. You have to watch it back. Well, we were talking about the difference in styles when it comes to like ops progression focused. And people were asking like, Rev, why do you not have the Agony booth? Why do you not really care if you pick up the Giroda Sentient Missile? And my answer was simple, because of how I play. I play a little bit slower than others, but I'm always like at the top for my level. No content that comes out is like one of those things where like I need a special FT or CT to overcome. But I was saying, if you happen to be more ops progression focused, those FTs and CTs might have more value for those players than for me. So, might have more value. Yep. Today is 7-year anniversary of your dad's death. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, John. My dad just had his, I think, 4th anniversary from when he passed. Maybe 4th or 5th. So I definitely can feel you. It doesn't feel that long ago, but life can be tough. Appreciate you being here there, buddy. Did you ever like Star Trek Discovery? Yes. Some of it. I mean, not all of it. I think the best way I would describe Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek Discovery's main plot lines every season are, for the most part, not good. Like, I would say that Star Trek Discovery's main plot every season I didn't like. However, they had some of the best side plots in Star Trek. Let me give you an example. Lorca, his character, his acting, and his side plot, top tier. Very, very good. The main plot line of that season, not a huge fan. I don't want to do spoilers for those that haven't watched it, so I won't go into big detail. Those who have watched it probably understand. Strange New World Pike. Seen him? He started in disco. I love that side story that got Strange New World started, right? But if you heard people talk, do I like The Bird and stuff like that? No, I do not. So, did you watch the Red Letter media review of Deep Space Nine? No, I don't see the point in that. Look, I'll be honest. While I agree with a lot of the style of what Red Letter Media likes in terms of Star Trek, I don't have time for their negativity. So, while I'm driving and working, I'm watching your stream, playing the game of stoplights. Travis, please be safe. Please be safe. We cannot condone nor encourage playing Star Trek Fleet Command at stop signs. So, yeah. But anyway, the answer to your Discovery question is there are pieces I like, but it is my second least favorite Star Trek of all time. Like, if we're grading them, it's second to last on my personal list. So anyway, Trinity asked about Starfleet Academy. Well, I'll say this: Starfleet Academy is brand new. I've only watched the first 2 episodes. That said, I'm gonna add one more thing. I'm going to watch all of Starfleet Academy because it's Star Trek, and I believe in watching all of it. So I'll watch all of it. I'll be honest. First 2 episodes, very bad in terms of the writing. I think the writing is really, really bad so far, but it's 2 episodes. It could be great. It could get into something. But as of right now, first 2 episodes of Star Trek Academy, very bad to me. But it's also, to be very clear, and we talked about this on Twitch, it is not geared towards me as a demographic. It is not aiming at the 36-year-old dad of 3. I'm not the target audience. So that's part of it too. But I really don't like the writing. Really don't like the writing. So, my Alliance top 20 game wide is now showing level 1, and we cannot participate in Alliance tournament currently. Gotta wait for the lag. It should be fixed. Sorry to hear that, Lars. The good news is they did already say a comp chest is going to come for this, though that doesn't make it better that we have to deal with it, but at least we know we're going to get something for our trouble. So, yeah. Yep. You see the potential, but they need more space time. I'm definitely going to give them the time. Like, I don't believe in judging something after 2 episodes. Not when Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Star Trek The Next Generation both had horrible first entire seasons, and that was 20 plus episodes. You can pick maybe 3 or 4 good episodes out of season 1 of TNG. So, it's there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with letting it play out and seeing what it becomes. Comp chests are good. Not needing a comp chest is better. Sure. But we play Star Trek Fleet Command. James Vaga, you've been around long enough. You know the day is not coming where that doesn't happen. So, we take what we can get, right? I'm not saying roll over and take it. I'm still saying complain. I'm just saying don't set your expectations to smooth, perfect gameplay. Yeah. You like the new Starfleet Academy? Seeing the new Interstellar Alliances form is cool. Yeah. Hey, and if you're enjoying it, that's great. For me, it's just the writing is focusing so much on how to deliver a message. No, I'm sorry. The writing is focusing so much on the message, it doesn't care how it delivers it. For example, I really dislike I hate the teaching setup in Academy because it's not realistic, whether you're talking about an actual, education in terms of college facility or if you're talking military, which Starfleet is. I know people don't like that, but it is a military organization, right? It's different type of military than American military for sure. But there's just a lot of things in there I don't like, but there's a lot of fun too. I'm also very curious to see the villain. Whoop says STFC is dead. Yeah, I have to strongly disagree with that. But anyway, that's the thing about Star Trek. There's a Star Trek for everybody. Too grounded / political. I actually don't care about political. Like, I know that might sound shocking to people, but like, I don't care that Star Trek's political. But I do care that how you're being political has to line up to reality and be like objectively based in some form of, you know, relatable foundation, right? I know that that might not make a lot of sense. So to be clear, if you haven't watched, Starfleet Academy is clearly focusing on a younger demographic, young adult / college age, and a more feminine demographic, which is absolutely awesome. So like, I got no issue when Star Trek is political, but let's use an example. All right. Female captain. We're obviously teaching female empowerment. Little things that happen really bug me. Like, you know, captain hiking her feet up, like putting her shoes in the chair. You know, a real captain's not doing that. Male, female, etc. Right? Little things like the glasses, 800 years after, you know, Geordi LaForge's visor and, you know, in Star Trek, the, Wrath of Khan, we talk about the actual drug that exists to heal this, and then a really, really poorly written reason as to why she's using glasses. It's little things like that that make it bad writing for me, not the message. Look, Star Trek's always been, you know, a very political entity. It's always spoken out about social issues. That's no issue. For me, the writing for those issues has to be really good. You know, one example I would give is, and I come back to this episode a lot, Measure of a Man. And if there's an episode of Star Trek that applies to like current day stuff that's going on, Measure of a Man is a great example. For those who have never seen Measure of a Man is an episode where they basically put Data and his sentience on trial. Does Data have rights as an artificial intelligence / sentient being? You know, what is Data? Measure of a Man, he is put on trial. Riker is the prosecutor, and we've got a defendant in Data with the defense counsel being Picard. And it is a very well written, not perfect, but very good show discussing a very difficult topic that is rooted in an actual trial. Like, you've seen JAGs come out, Judge Advocate Generals, and review that episode and talk about what is real versus what they missed maybe a little bit, and then talk about the plot line. That's what I look for. Let's talk about really difficult topics, but I've got to have the story and the writing be really, really good. And that's just not what I've seen for Starfleet Academy yet. And I hope that changes. The Una trial from Strange New World as well. Yeah, so again, there's really good stuff out there, right? There's very good things on there to discuss. And y'all are right to also bring up the Strange New World episode where, you know, they're discussing the first officer, number one. And yeah. Anyway, get in the weeds. We're talking more Star Trek than STFC, but still. What was the allegory of Measure of a Man, though? I don't think AI are current issues of the time. No, that's definitely right. That's already happening. You might have missed these issues, though, because obviously we don't have technology that has reached the level of Data. But in case you did not know, Chatterfang, did you know that there are AI actresses and AI actresses that have agents that are being negotiated for real movie roles today? Like, that's actually happening. And then in that same vein, on the opposite side, you have human actors and actresses and their guilds who are really offended and irate at that idea, right? Now, obviously, what we have now is nowhere near the level of Data where we're talking actual sentience. But the beginning of these arguments are already present in 2026, right? So that's kind of crazy. And you think about that episode, Measure of a Man, being written when it was back in the 90s, when artificial intelligence, again, it's not been reached, right? There's no real artificial intelligence. These are just large language models, but that's the path, right? And to start seeing things, these LLMs, these, developed softwares that are, actors and actresses already having, discussions of, do they have rights to be in movies? Are they taking away the rights of others? That's the start of that conversation. So I love being able to discuss and see. I've gotten distracted from the game. Half the people done left because they wanted to talk Star Trek Fleet Command, not Star Trek. But like, I enjoy those conversations. Like when Strange New World brought up the conversation, and you know, it's one of my favorite episodes of Strange New Worlds. But at the same time, like, never would have flown with Picard. But there's an episode in Strange New Worlds where they visit a planet, they get caught. Of course they do, and to like slap some sense into the planet that's trying to destroy themselves with captured alien technology, them being the aliens, they literally bring the Enterprise down from the clouds and like, hey, you listen to me or I'm gonna beat you with that big old flying stick up there. You know, stuff like that. Like, I love, we're talking a good ethical dilemma. Here's how we killed ourselves, but also shut up and listen because I got a big flying spaceship that will wreck you right now. Like, all these things are really good topics to be discussed. I love that. The ethics and morality of all these decisions. I love those type of good storyline written. Let's talk about it. Anyway, you can't/shouldn't separate Star Trek from STFC. Tell that to Digit Studios. I mean, you say that. How did you say that with a straight face? How did you say that with a straight face? When we literally have the USS Excelsior coming out the month of V'ger hostiles. Neither of those things ever interacted, nor is that even a thing. V'ger hostiles? What? What? Yeah. Anyway. Paradox says, I agree. The script writing is really poor in Academy. Cadets who are supposed to be the best of the best swallowed their comm badges. Really don't hit it all. Yeah, and again, I don't want to give away too many spoilers. Like, but that's an example. That was a... I get the purpose of it, Paradox. You're trying to be funny, right? You're trying to put in a little levity, comedic humor. Cool. But it comes across really flat and dumb given the situation of where they are, right? Like you're saying, best and brightest, cadets of Starfleet Academy. Oh, but we're secretly still young and dumb. We swallowed our comm badge. I don't like that. Like, that to me is poor writing. But I am very hopeful it gets better. And we'll see. We'll see. John, you got to remember the Prime Directive doesn't exist yet. The Prime Directive doesn't exist yet. Yeah. All right. Do we have any Star Trek Fleet Command questions? Yeah. All right. I still quite understand why they had the ship fly to the place instead of all just gathering at the place. Again, that's fine. That's fine. Anyway, refocus. Starfleet Academy should be for the best and the brightest. It's not high school. Eating your comm badge accidentally is a stupid plot line. Agreed. But again, these are little things that I think can improve because the general premise of Starfleet Academy, I think, is a fantastic premise. And by the way, spoiler, you'll be seeing it here in Star Trek Fleet Command. So, yeah. This went off 61. Guess best place to get speed ups is Mirror Terex. So there's a few different ways. Lawhawk. I actually made a video going over that, but Mirror Terex is definitely one of your options. Mirror Romulus, these two. You can technically get them from doing the silent hostiles as well. This little Christmas tree up here. But yes, if you're trying to start that Sigma grind, that's the number one spot because it's rep and Sigma speed ups. Yeah. Is there a list of hostile loot drops? No. Can one get 5-star maps from hostile chest? While there is technically like a 0.001% chance, it's not worth grinding hostiles for. So. Checking the music real quick. I'm going to change real quick to another playlist. It's still our playlist, but I don't want to run out, and I'm trying to avoid, yeah, y'all know me. I'm trying to avoid the copyright strikes. All right. Trying to get you back on STFC. It's all good, Lawhawk. At the same time, I mean, Brandon is right to an extent. Like, you talk Star Trek and Star Trek Fleet Command, they should be synonymous, right? There's nothing wrong with that paradigm. I mean, I get it. I get it. All right. Level 62 aquatics give as well. Anything that's a Sigma level hostile or above can give Sigma rewards. The drop rate's the big thing. Like, for example, if you're only hitting a level 62 aquatic, I think the best that can drop from a level 62 aquatic is a 15-minute Sigma speed up, whereas the Mirror Terex is where you can start getting the 15-hour ones. So, 15-hour ones. Yeah. As an Ops 63, you see the rep bundle on Alliance Tournament Store. Nope. This is what I see. Now keep in mind also, this is only a level 14 Emerald Chain. So there's some things I'm missing in here. But in terms of like just answering your question, no. Most stuff I'm missing here isn't even important. I'm just upset I'm missing it. So. Mirror Romulus is the best. There's no difference between Mirror Romulus and Mirror Terex in terms of drops. They're identical. It's more of a which one's more busy at the time type scenario. Yeah. Hope you're better at remembering your mission keys than I am. Oh yeah, I pull my mission keys every day. I never forget. Yeah. Good reminder, everybody, for mission keys. Everybody, good reminder for mission keys was just pinged out. You might want to go do that. Yeah. Isn't rep higher in ROM? Slightly, yes. But in terms of drops are identical. Like the loot table for what you can get is not different. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying the drops are identical. Yes, there is slightly higher rep as you go up a couple of points, but it should also be worth noting that that could be a difference for a player getting into that range. Because if we're talking about a player who just got into that level range, you're talking about maybe they can get 20 hostiles in Terex and get 3 or 4 hostiles in Romulus. So it's just, find whichever one ever works. There's also a warp range difference. It's a lot easier to get to Terex than it is to get to Mirror Romulus. But either way, I mean, if you are trying to grind Sigma, this is the way. And it is absolutely worth mentioning and bringing up. So I'm glad y'all did. I need Anorax. But my Anorax is somewhere else. So I'm going to go do my Zendeep without Anorax. My Anorax is currently out and about being used and abused. Yeah, and he likes it. All right, we're going to just go over here. Mission keys are Bane. They drop one a week in game. Make you log in the website for the other 6. Just why? Do you want me to answer why, Laws? Or are you just kind of like lamenting the fact that you have to do that? Or are you actually asking why? Because I can tell you why. I know the reason. But if that was just more of like a rhetorical thing and you're just complaining because it's annoying, that's fair. That's fair. Yo, Raj, long time no see. How the heck are you? Good to see you. Either. Okay, so the purpose, it's real simple, Laws. The reason you get 1 in game and 6 on the website is because they want to drive eyeballs to the website, because that then puts the sales in front of you, making it more likely that you're going to click. So what ends up happening is there are a lot of trackers that they've put in. And one of the things that they have noticed, and this isn't just an STFC thing, this is a lot of mobile games, and while a lot of them do this, number one, they get a better cut when they make a sale via the website, via the App Store. So that's the whole reason the website exists. But number two, they're driving traffic to the site, because if you go to the website, you're more likely to spend than if you did not go to the website, which is kind of duh moment. Obviously, you got to go to the website to buy those packs or use the PC or web client, but they're driving traffic to the site so that you can then see the daily claim and it becomes part of your day. And when you start every day going there, their hope is that eventually that every day of attending your loyal class of, we're going to click the buttons in school, and the button is website, StarTrekFleetBand.com. The hope that will translate and you buying something. And for you, you might go, I am better than that. I am too good. I can never be tempted. Cool. I'm happy for you. But from a psychological standpoint, this is something that's proven to work. Right? This is proven to work. Yeah. So, it's just trying to get your money. Life is better when you buy more packs. Yes, it is. Which is why I buy at least 8 packs a day. I can't afford that. I wish I could. If I could, I'd be Chrono. Chrono can afford that, but I can't. No cut from Play Store or Apple Store. Well, I mean, there's still a cut, to be clear, but Apple and Google, for those that don't know, take 30% right off the top. So if they sell a $100 pack, 30% of that immediately goes to Google/Apple. And then Paramount takes a huge chunk because it's their IP, and then the rest goes to Scopely/STFC. Whereas Exela, their cut, I believe, is 6.5%. So I think it's a 23.5% difference, meaning that 23.5% would then go directly to the company. So that's why the PC client, the web client, and the Mac client all use the Exela system, and why they would much rather you use that system. So that's why they get you to go there every day, so that you know it's available, so that if you do decide to spend, it's better to buy Battle Pass on the website than it is in the app to them. So that is also why Multiphasics exists. Correct, Scudmus. Because to make up for the fact that it's a better value for them, they're giving more digital currency so that Google and Apple can't come at them and say, well, that's not fair. So that's why Multiphasics exists, so that the value, dollar to material, etc., ends up being roughly the same for Google, Apple, and Exela, and it covers STFC's butt. So now you know if you didn't know. And hey, people don't always know. The things that they do around here, it's crazy. Now, anyway, well, I see a reason why they push paid events. Their business is making money. Yeah, absolutely. And look, I've never faulted STFC for making money. I might fault them on how they make money, but you know, I've never faulted them on that. I do believe they're a business, and I have often said the very controversial statement: if you enjoy Star Trek Fleet Command and you have the financial ability to contribute, you should. I'm not talking about like the nice old man who is on disability and this is how he distracts himself from life. I'm not talking about that person. I'm not saying they should give away all their disability money. But if you are out there and you're like, hey, I'm 45, my kids are in college, and me and my wife bought our first house in 1985, and you know, we paid $30,000 for a 5,000 square foot, 2-bedroom, 8-bathroom, 17-car house, then you should probably be buying a battle pass here and there just to, you know, support the game that you spend hundreds of hours on. That person is who I'm talking to. But I can still gripe about how they go about their process. Yeah, I don't like I hate the double battle pass of the challenge track, which is part of what has actually driven me away from even participating a lot. Is that just I understand the logic, but it feels gross to me. And I know I'm using young people vernacular, but it feels icky, right? It's gross that I have to buy the ship and buy then a special pass to do all the tracks. I don't like that. It feels gross. A 5-year-old who bought a house? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Y'all got the point I was making. Yeah. All right, so we got multiple people in here doing the same thing I am. Freaking lint lickers. Tag Nabbit. Why's everybody got a copy rev? Everybody's supposed to be down the 40 system, not the 42. Anyway, now everybody knows, correct. You prepare for the storm this weekend? After stream today, I'm going to try to run to the store. If anybody want to contribute to the Rev needs to buy, you know, extra toilet paper and stuff. For those that don't know, massive storm hitting the U.S. right now. Massive winter storm. And it's bad enough that they're talking of major snow and hail and stuff down here where I live in Louisiana. Now, toilet paper, not as big of a deal for me purchases because we have a bidet, very fancy. It's one of those like screw-on ones. But just in case like the power goes out or you can't drive, because we don't have trucks down here that clear the road of snow. We don't have trucks that dump ice on it so that it, is easier to drive on. We don't have none of that technology here. We don't need it. There's a major snow in my town/city like once every 5 to 10 years. It's very rare. So it's a big deal for us because our electrical grid, for example, is not made to handle major wintry conditions. So like we could lose power and, schools are probably going to get closed. We'll see what all ends up happening. But all that, do you have a snow shovel and salt? I have a snow shovel, yes. But all of that said, the point being made is we need to go make sure that we have enough in case all the power goes out so that we can handle all of the necessities. Kids supposed to travel for a volleyball tournament. They won't call it, so we can't cancel hotel reservations. I mean, I get it. It's a massive storm. So I get not wanting to like cancel everything across the country. But again, for those who don't know what we're talking about, maybe you're from the British area of the UK land. Here, winter storms target over 180 million Americans. Like it's a major thing. Basically anything east of the Rocky Mountains is all getting hit because there's a low front and there's the cold front and there's that warm Gulf air and it's all turning into a big clustered crap of blah, blah, blah. I'm not a meteorologist, but it's getting real bad. And I'm down here in Louisiana, but it's already hitting here. It's talking about coming down from the Great Lakes and going straight south. So anyway, just big coat weather. Maybe shut the windows a push. Yeah, it's stay in the house weather, but it also could very much be a shut down. That's weird. Apparently weather.com thinks that my name is It's Lube because it's pulling up temperatures for whole England. I have no idea why that's happening, but apparently it thinks my name is It's Lube or something. That's crazy. But anyway, we're just not made for snow and stuff. That's what I'm saying. And the current forecast is for my town, like it's raining right now. And it's supposed to start getting down to freezing here soon. And then this weekend, the temperatures should get down to about zero communism. A little bit lower than zero communism. So freezing for us freedom fighters. And with snow and sleet being very likely. NordVPN? I do have NordVPN, Funky Dragon. How did you know? How did you know? Now for me, I'm going to be working no matter what, right? So as long as I have power, I'm going to be working. If y'all would like to contribute to the Me and the Wife Fund, there you go. You're about 10 miles from Hull, England. I don't remember why I looked up Hull, but I do remember Joanne. It was one of the members lives there, and we were talking about the weather. So one of the community members is from Hull. So. Gosh, everybody's eating all the daggone battleships. Why no VPN sponsor? Hey, if you know somebody who wants to sponsor my channel, tell them to reach out. I'd love it. Nord's never reached out to me. So I'm not going to promote them. Y'all use whoever VPN you want until Nord pays me, and then I'll tell you to use Nord. So, connect to a UK server? No, I'm not. No. It's simply remembering a cookie. For whatever reason, I had looked that up the last time I was on weather.com. And that was the cookie that was saved. Don't you like cookies? A foot and a half for us Philly folks. Well, y'all, again, stay safe. Now, again, Philly, I would worry about. This might sound crazy to some people, but like a city like Philadelphia, I would worry about a lot less with a major winter storm than say New Orleans, Louisiana. Because one city's used to it. Like they can handle it. They have the infrastructure. We just don't have the infrastructure here. Will Sculpey blame the lag on the storm? I don't know. But they have said, Viper, that there's a comp chest happening. So either way, we should be good. So if you're experiencing it like we were doing my tournaments definitely has got lag. We were doing that. But if you're noticing it in tournaments and stuff, the good news is a comp is coming. So these are free to play. Free to play. Look at these 10K tasks. I like the free to play ones. Yeah. Like London when it snows, they have no idea how to deal with it. It's crazy because I would assume most of the people who are from the UK, when they think of America, they're like, yeah, Louisiana, that's super far down south. I mean, that's technically true, but in a lot of ways, there's similarities climate-wise between the UK and where I live in Louisiana. So lots of humidity. Nicholas, good to see you. Welcome in. Cyphers isn't free to play. Well, I didn't say it was. Did you not see me do a circle where I went free to play and then went underneath? I went free to play. Did the arrow not show up when I did that? I went circle. I went like that. 2 out of 3, baby. 2 out of 3. All right, let me grab this. We got finished Zen Deep. Those that don't know, we're doing the Zen Deep event on Wednesday because that is how you get premium mirror dust, and it is very important. It's very important. You missed that part? It's okay, Brady. One thing that Bob has gotten onto me about, and I appreciate him doing it, is to make sure that I speak verbally what I'm doing because not everybody knows where everything's at. So, would it be better to use my choice tokens when they fix the lag? Yes. I would wait to make sure the lag is fixed before using your choice tokens. Again, not to be that guy. I'm not trying to just be a Scopely hater, but given the problems that can happen when major lag is reported, I would hold off if you can log on a little bit later today and do it then. Now, it does seem to be getting better, the lag that is from the past couple of hours. I mean, it comes in like spurts, but it's not terrible. But just to play it safe, because choice tokens are a pain to lose, and you'd have to go through customer support to get them back, and we know how much of a process that can be. If it was me, I would wait. So, Lasses, they would definitely recommend waiting. They've already lost several things and have made tickets. See, Laws isn't the person who's just stubborn. Like, I'm going to play my game when I want to, dang it. And then they're going to put in 18 tickets when things break. You know what? Fair play to them. They're in the UK. They're probably going to go to bed in like 30 minutes because they're old. And they're in the UK. And there's nothing else to do in the UK besides sleep and complain about the weather and everything else. So, it's okay. In fact, you didn't know, it's actually a UK tradition to like B-word and moan, right? To gripe and complain. It's one of the things that they are very proud of, and it's part of their culture in the UK. So them making so many tickets makes a lot of sense, to be honest. How to free play do the temporal disruptors? I can't get many of them. So we talked about that at the beginning of the stream, Admiral Pegasus, but the easiest way is to farm the 2 main temporal artifacts in the DTI faction store. Random Time Weapon and Janeway's Pocket Watch. You farm those, and if you're doing those pulls every week, you're going to get to a point where you can afford to very consistently pull and take advantage of all of the lovely goodies that come available in Alliance tournaments. Appreciate you do those, but what would really help us more than anything right now, and that's all of us, if you... Daniel, I'll be honest, man, that's a big run-on sentence, and it's probably going to sound like I'm being a butthole. Don't ask me to interpret your run-on sentences. Don't ask me to do that. Like, proofread your stuff and then present to me your argument. You ain't British if you don't complain about the weather. It's in our DNA. First off, Gopher, I have to complain a little bit because you just appropriated my culture. Why are you saying ain't? Ain't and y'all is my culture. You can't have it. Give it back. Ain't and y'all is my stuff. If you're British, keep your own vernaculars. Don't take the Mickey out of me. Okay? No, thank you. Stop it. Anyway. Good to see everybody. Aphelion, yay or nay? Yay. Although you'll still mostly focus on your G6 Epic miners. But it's still a yay. A very slow yay, I guess is the way I would say it. Give us those beans on toast you ate then? You told me to eat them. It was the British who made me eat the beans on toast. So, y'all are the ones who told me to do it. I was given permission to steal your culture, Viper. You lint licker. Y'all are getting distracted again. Why is it y'all are worse than me about getting rabbit trailed? Why are y'all worse than me? Focus. Focus. My Lanta. And it separates the Brits from the Americans as language. Okay. Your culture appropriating language. Well, paradox. If we want to get real accurate, the accent and everything that we have in the southern part of the USA, according to linguists, is what the British people sounded like a couple hundred years ago. So y'all are the ones who changed, not us. Sorry. We actually are holding the original. You gave it away. It's not my fault. All right. Squirrel. Anyway, back to the game. Yes, Mihai, we do play the game. We play Star Trek Fleet Command. Yep. We do indeed. ADHD Rev, yeah, man. You're not wrong, Marin. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. All right, so let's go ahead and get all of our pulls in. Here we go. I'm actually back to working on my Battle Star, my Borg cube. So I haven't done this mining in a while. I need to do that so I can finish the NSEA stuff. I need to get around to doing that. Gotta do more of these armadas. Because that's obviously good 6-star that we're paying out, and I need it. I need to go mine more. See, there's a lot of things I gotta do. I got a laundry list of things to do today. Here, let's go. I'm not. You know what? Screw it. We're just going to do a PvP crew. And we'll just put it in a lower system for now. My Serene Squall. Because I just need to get my stuff mined. I technically need the hostiles as well, but okay. The EU servers. Wait, are the EU servers particularly borked right now? Because, man, that would stink after I just had all these EU players. Like, Quasel was in, like, everybody's stream talking about how much better the lag and stability has been. I feel really bad for Quasel if the EU is suffering today. Blame it on Quasel. So, this is why Quasel needs to be careful about all the things he's bragging about. He was bragging this month about how much better EU has been, lag and stability-wise. Well, here's what happens when you brag. What part of the research tree is the Prime Valor emblem used on? Great question. Here, let me show you. We have a spreadsheet for that because we have a spreadsheet for basically everything in this game. 1 second. Let me pull up this spreadsheet so y'all can seize it for yourselves. 1 second. So, Prime Valor is actually a set of researches that are in a lot of different places. So you've got Prime Valor in the Starships tree. That is for doing your Prime Disco Warp Range boosting, which is a 5-tier Prime. Very annoying, but it happens. You have one in the Galaxy tree. That's Prime Armada Refinery. Very, very low importance, but worth getting eventually. You've got 5 in the combat tree, but 2 of those are going to be your Prime Critical Hit Reduction. That's one of the more important ones. I would strongly recommend you get that one done. Whether you're PvP or PvE, that one's a really good one. Prime Station Siege is okay. That's in the combat tree. And then Prime Station Delay 1 and 2, very much needed if you're going to raid bases in today's game. Then finally, Prime Fleet Commander Gift, which is very meh. It's in the Galaxy tree. And last but not least, the Prime Dominion Solo Rating, also incredibly meh in the X-Borg tree. There are all your Prime Valor usages. As you can see, there are four separate research trees that they have primes for, which is good. I mean, this is a lot of things that you can get. So there you have it. There you have it. Never know if the servers are bad or my awesomely bad British countryside broadband. You need to call the council and tell them that you deserve fiber. It's 2026, and if they're not giving you fiber, do they even love you as a citizen? I'm just saying. Citizens deserve fiber. UK lag the last few hours has been absolutely awful to the point I can't play. It's fine. Rev is here to mock us Brits and make me laugh. Better use of my time. I'm happy to hear it, Laz. Look, if there's one thing I do appreciate about the British and that terrible island, just that rain-soaked, stop messing with the sheep island. I like their sense of humor. Yeah, very dry, sometimes quite verbose. I appreciate it. So, but anyway, today's lag is significant, and there will be a comp chest for today's lag. So if you are wondering why Rev is not currently jumping up and down with pitchforks and torches over it, it's because they've already acknowledged it, which I appreciate, and they've already said a comp will be passed out because of it. But all that aside, it is still crappy to have to deal with, and I've had to deal with it today. Now, my game hasn't shut down, which I'm thankful for, but it's definitely hung up multiple times. I'm sure y'all have seen it. But they've already said that it's going to be patched, and then there will be a comp chest, and there's nothing really more I can do. Really, the whole reason for me to gripe is if it's getting a problem fixed. And if they're already fixing it, then there's nothing for me to gripe about. It's just to acknowledge it, let y'all know, and then keep it moving, right? Sitting on 1 gig fiber, very nice. One of my goals is to get fiber here at the office, well, my house, my home office, this year, is to get fiber. It's one of my goals. Senior citizens need fiber. You're darn right, Imlasuk. They definitely do. I agree. It would not be a green and pleasant land without the rain. I'll tell you this, Mark. A lot of things about the UK, I wouldn't choose to live there, but I'll tell you this. I love the weather. I love the rain, the overcast. I love that. So if you live in the UK and you want to sell me a bog or something, but tell me it's prime real estate, let me know. 10,000 Alliance tournament task, USS Excelsior Parks, is coming around way too much. I only had it come up once, but with it being a paid task, it does have a higher roll chance than some of the other ones. Also, don't forget, Davey, that if your alliance mates are holding on to one of the particular tasks, for example, like the Epic Dominion Directive task, well, there's a limit to how often some of those tasks will show up. So if you have somebody in your alliance who's holding on to the task, it's not going to be in the roll. So make sure you tell your alliance if they pick task up to not hold on to them, to complete them, and to do those tasks. So, want to buy a bridge? Maybe you got a bridge to sell. I might be able to live under a bridge. Wouldn't be the first ginger troll in the UK. Yeah. Not too hot, not too cold. You have my attention. You have my attention. Yeah. All right. All joking aside, I don't know if y'all know this. There's a company based in the US that sells like really small plots of land in Scotland. And so obviously they work in Scotland, but I highly doubt they're advertising this in the UK. But anyway, the advertisement goes that you can buy a plot of land in Scotland because being a landowner qualifies you to be a lord/lady, which is obviously completely ridiculous and not factual at all, but it works. So, fun fact if y'all didn't know. Fun fact if you didn't know. It's silly. It's silly. All right, let's get back here into claiming. It's a scam? No, you don't mean. You mean if I buy this like $300 1-inch by 1-inch piece of land, I will not be a lord nor lady? No way they would do that. You mean if I buy that star over there at negative 35.7899 latitude, that they won't recognize it as my star when we eventually travel there? Oh, no. Sorry. Look, I'm not being a butt, but if you fall for those type of things, that's on you. That's on you. All right. I've already mentioned this, but I find it slightly annoying that we have the additional 10K tasks, which reduce the chances of free-to-play tasks appearing. It does dilute the roles. You're right. It does. It absolutely does. So. Yeah. Sarcasm detector explodes. Yep. Sounds like the new version of the buy a star promotion. Exactly. Exactly. Although the buy a star promotion makes more sense to me because there's a hell of a lot more stars than there is land in Scotland. So. Yeah. Walked along Hadron's Wall this summer. Well, that's pretty cool. I do love history now. I do love me some history. All right, let's keep making our pulls here. Get our officer exchange. This is the NX02 Columbia skin. This is the reminder. The NX02 Columbia skin doubles this. So I'm about to get 12 rolls. And I saw 18 officer shards plus a bunch of transporter patterns. So, yippee for Rev. There we go. Get those pulls in. Head over to Augment. Get these in. Are the NA servers also in horrible condition? First off, LaPrim, you put respect on their name. They're labeled the U.S. servers. They're not labeled the NA servers. It's America. I don't care if you're Brazilian, Chilean, Argentinian, Colombian. You're in a U.S. server. Dag nabbit. America! Get it right. Anyway, there is lag over on the NA side of the pond, yes. It's not as bad as y'all apparently have it, though. Yep. You bought a star for your mom? When the NX1 is finally complete, I'll claim it as ruler. I love that. I mean, it's a very, don't get me wrong, it's a sweet thing to do. Like, it could be very sappy and sweet, romantic with your honey to buy her a star or something like that. I'm just saying, like, don't actually expect to have laid a claim to a whole solar system for, you know, $200. It's not how the real life in the real world works. EU is not having it. I've heard it's really bad over there. And I personally blame Quasel. If y'all know Quasel, feel free to ping him and say that Rev's blaming him. I blame Quasel because he has spent the past 2 weeks on every stream talking about how much better the lag and stability has been for the EU part of the game. And for him to get bit in the butt this month is just a little bit comical. Don't worry, it's happened to me too, so I understand. Yeah. For me, the lag's been annoying since the ARC started. I will be doing another end of ARC survey at the end of this month. So for those who are interested, you know, be looking out for that. I will need y'all's help. I will need y'all's help. What did my wife just message me? The heck? Oh, that's so sweet. Anyway, my wife, who is being a mom, just sent me a picture of our kids. She's just being a mom. Sorry. My daughter's real cute, okay? Let me be a doting dad. Don't judge me. I got distracted while I'm at work. Ain't like y'all have never checked your cell phone while at work. Don't judge me. Yeah. Any spots to pull Selkie VPs other than the FKR factions? All 3 factions. All 3 factions. It's the only place you should pull them. Let me see. 1 second, y'all. I'm just trying to remember if I need to get any of these pulls in. Anything that takes uncommon down here? That takes rares. I got uncommons. I need to start spending. Advanced integrity? Heck yeah. I'm going to go and grab that. Didn't realize I had that sitting here. Heck yeah. That's a nice one. Ooh, and the rare one, another 400%. Yeah, let's make our whole health a lot more better. Heck yeah. Didn't realize I had these even sitting here. Have the really cool waterfront property for sale with unbeatable waterfront views located directly below Sydney Harbor Bridge. Going really cheap due to slight rising dampness issue. This sounds like a really good deal. This sounds like a really good deal. All hell augment? Yeah, I need to make my pulls though. Been apparently ignoring my pulls. Let's see, metaphasic shielding, that would jump that up another 300%. I've also got, gosh, I'm getting old. Telling the difference between the rare and the uncommon is hard. All right, Galaxy Quest crew, Symbiosis crew, and Mirror crew. Mirror crew. Mirror crew. Yep, Mirror crew. Oh, those were uncommons. Okay, that's the rare one. See how hard it is to see the daggum difference? Look at that. Am I just old? Am I an old man complaining about this? Because I'm looking at a big old computer monitor and I'm going like, is that uncommon or common? Like, am I the only one here? Is this hard to see? Dang it. Scopely, your demographic, you're old men like me and old women like me. This is hard to tell the difference. Thank you. Thank you. Gosh. It's not just you. Thank you. There's no way it's just me. But like, my Lanta, that was hard to see. Yeah, so I recently just upgraded my Reliant. So I've got all these options in here I need to come down there and pull. So there we go. That's now done. I'm just trying to make sure there's nothing I can afford that I need to do first. Sigma repairs. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Old man yells at cloud. I can't help it, Zero Galactic. I can't help it, man. Sometimes these clouds need yelling at. Sometimes these clouds need to hear what I have to say. I used to change the color of the green button to match the color of the corresponding Wrath token. That is a brilliant yet simple idea. A brilliant yet simple idea. I'll actually bring it up with the person who designed the augment. That, don't know if they'll go back and do that for past things, but for future things, I could see that being very, very handy. It's worse on the phone. And that was kind of my point, Kevin. Like, I'm complaining on, I don't know what y'all play on. My monitor, I think it's a 27-inch monitor, I think. I don't remember the size, but I'm looking at a big computer monitor, right? Let alone if I was on my cell phone. Even right here, like even in terms of perspective, it'd be harder to see here than it is on there. So anyway, it's a great idea, Brandoni. No matter how much I love Ginger American Star Trek fans, after Love and Leave You, time to drive fake cars on the game for the charity I do a series for. Well, hell yeah, we love charity. Thank you for being here, man. I hope you have a great time driving for charity, and we appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for hanging out. It's actually at our wrap-up time anyway, so it's fortuitous timing. You want to scope it to stick to standard colors for common, uncommon, rare, and epic? Well, they already do that. Common is basically nothing or white. Uncommon, green, rare, blue, and epic is purple/pink, whatever that fuchsia type of color is. But we're going to wrap it up for the day. We'll be live again tonight, hopefully with better lag and better stability. I'll see y'all then. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for loving and supporting my family, my channel. And if y'all would like to support, please do consider checking out Revenues.com to be a member on the website or donating directly. Everything helps. Everything appreciated. Never required. Live long and plunder. Stay safe out there. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next one. Message me if you need anything. I'll be there.
An even better outro than the intro. For the empire and glory to your house.